and welcome. My name is Dan. You are listening to the Eternal Connection Show on Blog Talk Radio. I will be the host for the next about, 15 minutes. Today we will be talking about the metaphor of returning home in a psychological sense or even maybe a spiritual sense. Some of the ideas I'll be talking about are from Michael Neill's book, The Space Within, and his audio entitled Effortless Success. To learn more about Michael's work, you can find him on the web at michaelneill.org, michaelneill.org. Yet before we begin the topic, I just wanted to add, if you're new to the show, I like to explore in a philosophical sense how the world works, the best way to interact with life experiences that we have, and anything else that comes to mind. In the past, I've painted a couple hundred pieces of artwork, symmetrical and abstract paintings. I've written a bunch of poems, recorded about, 50-some radio programs over the past few years, and self-published some books of my poetry. So, as well, I'd like to broadcast this show when I feel inspired to do. So, I won't be taking calls. I know some of the Blog Talk Radio shows take phone calls, but since it's a short segment, I just want to get to the subject matter as soon as I can. And I have to say, though, all apologies to those who have tried to access my former website, danielfink.com. I took the site down, and I want to find other ways to put my work online via YouTube or WordPress or Facebook. So that's that. So today we will be talking about returning home. That's the title of the show. And basically, I find that there's a state of mind which is peace, love, and all good attributes of life. Yet oftentimes, which is normal for being human, we get caught up in thinking, and it takes us away from the natural, peaceful place, referred to as the natural state of mind, as I like to think of it. It's a part of being human to think about things, like I mentioned, yet when it gets to the point of being harmful to ourselves, others, and the quality of our life, it's a red flag that it's time to transition back to the home of a peaceful mind. The distracted mind is rarely effective in interacting the best way in life. When we can calm our thinking, we open up possibilities to the ways of thinking that may not have been available in any other way. So I feel that we can listen, quote-unquote, listen to what is true and helpful when we have that quiet sense of a deeper understanding of what truly is going on and what's important to us, rather than the habitual ways that we have and we may get lost in each day with the day-to-day living. I did have a radio program last year called Intentional Focus, and with intentional focus on a goal or a set amount of time, we can have really good results. I saw a TED Talk on YouTube about hackathons, which basically what I took from it is that they were talking about being awake for 48 hours and focusing completely on one project for that 2-day span of time without sleep. Now, I personally wouldn't recommend staying up that late or for that length of time unless you really want to, but I do see something in the idea of just picking a focus on something and taking action towards it. Often we want to do something or create something in our life experience, but if we don't put the time into it on a daily basis, it won't come into form. One of the things in the Effortless Success audio that Michael Neill put out a while ago is to have an average day of putting time into a goal each day that can add up to an increased result of progress, even if it's 30 minutes a day. Say, for example, you want to write a 300-page book, and you write, 3 pages a day. You'll have the book in about 3 months' time. So that's just an example. I feel being mindful of what is happening in the outside world, as well as the internal world of thoughts and emotions, can guide us how to interact. This is known as spiritual guidance, could be thought of as, or intuition, or effective interaction with what is going on at any given moment. Yet when I find that I'm caught up in ways of being lost in my thoughts, I don't have that clarity to focus. But one of the things I use is an online organizer. I use Microsoft OneNote, but there's other ones out there like Evernote and other things like that. But yeah, I just jot down everything that comes to mind, and then I organize it, put a time amount that I want to put towards that goal each day, and I believe that that'll add up to good results, and it has. Last night I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I just decided to start an HTML project and write some web pages, just with some multimedia that I had to sort of put it all together. We won't know what we can accomplish until we try and we take action on what may be what we want to have experience in life. So I don't know. I've pretty much went down the list of the notes that I had. We're about 7-8 minutes into the show, so I have a bunch of time to just sort of free verse or elaborate on what comes to mind. It's been a while since I have broadcasted a show. It seems like it's few and far between these days that I put a show out, but I just wanted to do this today. I believe that what we make a priority in our life, even if we don't make something a priority and we just go with what we normally do day to day, that we're making that a priority. So honestly, I apologize for not making this radio show more of a priority in my life. Life happens, and we need to show compassion and grace to ourselves and to others to understand that life can get very complex and complicated, especially in the society and culture that we have, with everything being so fast-paced. Getting back to the idea of returning to home when things do get fast-paced, we can always be mindful, like I mentioned, and we can, let's see, we can go back to that place that we're just for now saying is home. It's home to a calm way of thinking. It's home to opening up to possibilities that we haven't seen before. It's being mindful of if we're in that quiet, peaceful space, or if we're somewhere else in our thoughts. Right now, I don't know where I am, but if I was to step back and in that scale, I would, if I was to step back and say, I wonder what's going on right now. If I take a deep breath, maybe. Sometimes that does wonders. Sometimes I'll, if I have the opportunity, I can just get a good night's rest and things will look better the next day. Sun will come out tomorrow. I don't know why I'm quoting a musical right now, but I just did. So we're about 10 minutes into the show. I usually do about a 15-minute segment. Just sort of going with the flow right now, trying to tie things in to the topic of returning home. Oftentimes, I think it's good to be prepared, and oftentimes I think the best preparation is to just trust yourself that you'll know what to do or say at the time that is necessary to do. I feel that if I trust myself, that what I'm saying now, even if I'm not reading specifically from notes, it still may be helpful. I still may be giving some words of encouragement or something to that effect. But yeah, I'm trying to think. There's the idea of worthiness. Am I worthy of believing that I can do something? My view on my self-worth, I believe that we're all perfect in some sense, but we get caught up in this life. I mean, it's been said that babies don't need therapy because they just are in tune with life. And when I get caught up in life, and maybe you can relate to this, I want to try to be mindful of that and to just sort of maintain after I shift or dissolve into a more peaceful state, to just hold on to that and utilize that as best as I can. So I'm going to wrap this up. I hear some things outside my apartment, so I don't want that to get onto the recording that I'm going to broadcast soon. So I'm going to wish you all a great day, and thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And I guess that's about it. Take good care, and if you get caught up in life, feel free to return home to a peaceful state of mind. Have an average day, and put in some time to work on something that you've always wanted to do, that you haven't, it was too overwhelming. But if you just put a little time into it each day, it'll add up and you'll get it done. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're all on a learning curve, and I just wish you all the best. So have a wonderful day or evening or morning, whatever it happens to be, and until next time.